Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Dylan here. Major bombshell today from Senator Rand Paul. He's coming out and going absolutely scorched earth on everyone today. In the Christmas spirit, he's like, Christmas is coming early. He's exposing the truth about the Biden administration, and he's also exposing the truth about House Speaker Mike Johnson, okay? So we're gonna bring on Rand Paul into the show, but before we do, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell notifications too. It helps us out tremendously when you do that. It takes 2 seconds. And comment your thoughts down below because we love hearing your thoughts. So without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so here is Senator Rand Paul's Festivus report exposing Biden admin for wasting $1 trillion.
Joe Biden's wild spending spree exposed in Senator Rand Paul's 10th annual Festivus report, showing the more than $1 trillion in government waste. Making the list this year, of course, you gotta have your Sesame Street show in Rack, a multi-million-dollar pickleball complex in Las Vegas, a drag cap.
What? Pickleball?
Beret show on ice, and of course, border security for ... Paraguay. Kentucky Senator.
I mean, what the hell? This is just stupid. Like, this is where our taxpayer dollars are going for. Like, this is why we need Elon and Vivek.
Rand Paul joins us now. Senator, this is an annual list you do. You've got a lot of problems with government people, to quote Seinfeld further. How tough is it to target and find the entries on this list?
You know, I got a lot of problems with big spenders in both parties. And here's the thing, everywhere you look, you find more of this stuff. $1 trillion, that means we found a lot of waste, but it's everywhere. It's in all the big departments, in the Department of State, it's in NIH, it's in the National Science Foundation. And people wonder, why does it exist every year? We have this Department of DOGE, are they gonna be able to get rid of it? Well, the only way to get rid of it is to spend less money. So if you give the National Science Foundation $4 billion one year, and then you increase it to $8 billion, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand you're going to get more waste, not less. This has been going on since the 70s, but it has exploded. But you have to be willing to cut spending for the overall department. NIH will have more waste if you give them more money. They spent $3 million studying what kids do when they look at ads for food on Facebook. So they had a whole bunch of kids look at ads for food on Facebook, and that was $3 million worth.
I feel like America is just the worst business. Like, what other business wouldn't go bankrupt with just wasting money on this and that? I mean, it's like we just keep going into debt, keep busting out the money printer, and then in the result, like, we don't go bankrupt, we just have bad inflation, and then our economy sucks. It's like stupid.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars to drill holes into cats' head, spin them around rapidly, and study motion sickness. Sounds more like animal cruelty than it actually sounds like an experiment, but the list goes on and on.
And that's not to mention, I mean, you have stolen COVID relief funds, $8 million. One guy from Florida did it to buy an island. You mentioned the cat. The list does go on and on, but you also alluded to this, Senator. Do you think your tradition ends this year? In other words, is this the year that DOGE eliminates the need for you to go through and make this list, because they've done it over the course of the intervening 365 days?
That's crazy.
Ultimately, it takes Congress. Congress has to get rid of the spending. DOGE can point out the spending problems and the waste the same way I've been pointing it out, but the reason it's not eliminated is they don't have the votes to get rid of the spending. So I am very hopeful that DOGE will draw attention to this the same way I've been drawing attention to it. But I'll give you an example. About a year ago, there was a chip bill, a bill to subsidize microchips, semiconductors in the United States. Well, in that bill, they doubled the size of the National Science Foundation. Now, the National Science Foundation is the one that's famous for doing a study on whether tequila or gin makes people more aggressive. So they fed
What the hell?
half of them tequila and the other half of the fish gin, and they decided which made the fish more aggressive. That's the National Science Foundation. Most of the terrible, wasteful projects, the crazy stuff and experiments that are going on is National Science Foundation. In the CHIPS bill, All the Democrats and half the Republicans voted to double the size of the National Science Foundation. So why is there more waste? Because the idiots in Congress keep giving them more money.
Well, it will be interesting to see again what happens when Republicans control the House.
Okay, let's bring on Rand Paul because he just went scorched earth on Mike Johnson. And let's just say I'm looking forward to this one. All right, here we go.
So, Politico reporting the incoming administration is questioning whether Johnson is capable of managing the Republicans' razor-thin majority next year. Trump said to be unhappy that a debt ceiling raise was not included in the short-term government funding bill, and he feels blindsided by the first deal struck with Democrats, that it was unimpressed with the entire process. Senator Rand Paul predicting Speaker Johnson will be replaced next year in his annual Festivus report, also known as his list of personal grievances against many people, Republicans and Democrats. Paul writes, I noted last year that I would be roasting the next speaker and the gang who put him in power by this Festivus. As usual, I am right. I want to be the first to congratulate former Speaker Johnson, who will be gone.
Former Speaker Mike Johnson, guys, who will be gone before D.C. gets warm again. So Rand Paul is saying that Mike Johnson is going to get fired before what? April, March? That's when it gets warm again?
Before D.C. gets warm again. Paul joined Maria on Sunday Morning Futures explaining why he's lost confidence in Johnson. Listen to this.
Senator, are you saying you'll support Mike Johnson, or you're not supporting Mike Johnson? Do you have somebody else in mind that you want to see as speaker?
I think it's good to mix it up and let them know we are not happy with the job they're doing. But really, someone just has to. People at home say, well, why don't we control the power of the purse? We elected Republicans. Why don't we have the power of the purse? And people say, well, the Democrats control the Senate. So I say, well, what does that mean? We have 50% of the power of the purse. No, I think we exercise zero because they're so afraid of shutdown, so afraid of Democrats. The Democrats put forward an exploding budget, and somehow you come to a compromise. Instead, Republicans in the House, the Speaker, give up in advance, give the Democrats everything they want.
Well, Congressman, you'll vote for the speakership on January 3rd, and we want to know, are you backing Johnson, and do you expect anybody to challenge him?
I think Elon Musk should be Speaker of the House. What do you guys think? I don't know, but for one thing, I know a lot. I don't know much about Mike Johnson. I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to remain Speaker of the House. But we'll see. What I do know is that he's facing a ton of backlash. Even Steve Bannon went scorched earth on Mike Johnson at the America Fest. And, people were pissed. Like, you could tell people were, agreeing with Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon was saying, he's got to go. He's got to go. Mike Johnson, he's got to go. So what do you guys think about Mike Johnson? Let me know your thoughts on this one down below, guys.